Off with you, please.
How are you, Wayne? All right?
Yeah, just got off the training field.
Oh, lovely.
It's a bit nippy out there, but no, all good.
Just maybe start with 4 personnel changes, 2 in the back row. Just outline Ross Moriarty and Jack Morgan. Why you think they should be starting this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's well documented, and on reflection, we clearly didn't achieve what we wanted to out in Dublin. Part of it was getting parity in terms of the physicality side of the game, or the physical side of the game. That's whether that's ball carrying, cleaning rucks, that sort of thing. Big defence. We came up short. There's no hiding from that fact. And I think Jack's trained very, very well. He's a very abrasive sort of player, and Ross, we know, obviously is very strong in that area. So we've learnt that way, and it does give us a lot more speed in the back three, or it gives us something different. So that's probably the thinking behind that.
Will Tane and Jack act as sort of 2 open sides, or are you looking at them as a natural 6 and 7?
Yeah, look, they can both. Obviously, they're both 7s. Tane has played as an 8 a lot in age grade rugby coming through in the early part of his senior career, so it's not foreign to him to shift around the back row.
And a great rise for Jack after he's named in his first squad to get a chance in only the second game. Yeah,
and it just goes to show that his performances on the park and a test match should obviously carry a lot of weight, but there's also what you do in training, and he's certainly done everything asked of him. And it's we're all looking forward to seeing Jack out there, and it'll be a great opportunity for him and his family.
How is Josh Adams? It's described as a tight calf. Is it a minor issue, Wayne?
Yeah, I think if it was, if you're talking we're at a World Cup and it was a knockout stage, then he'd probably give it a go. But it's just one of those ones where, we don't think it's worth the risk, because if it does worsen, then that would be him gone for the rest of the tournament and quite some time. So we're looking after the player well-being on that one.
If he had been fully fit, when would you have kept him at 13?
Well, certainly a discussion we were having, and there's been a lot of talked about that selection. When you break down the performance, we certainly don't think that him playing at 13 was the cause for certainly the tries that they scored, and in fact he did a lot of good work at 13.
I know Owen Watkin is in after missing out on the autumn. What are his credentials, but also Willis Alaholo? How close was he available for selection, or is he still just a bit out?
In terms of Willis and the hamstring, he's been cleared. So really now with Willis, it's a matter of getting some volume into him and just the sharpness that he needs to get back to play at test level. Certainly he's heading in the right direction. Owen Watkin, yeah, look, he's gone away and left out of a squad or 2 and has worked very hard. He's very keen. He gets an opportunity now, and the last time he played was against the same opposition and played well. So, he's in a confident mood, and we're looking forward to seeing Owen go.
Just Alex Cuthbert coming in. You've gone back to me impressed when he came in against Fiji. Just to clarify, was he available last week because there was that course that you might have to do, or was he available for selection last week? And now that he's playing, what are you expecting from him?
Well, he was injured, so he wasn't considered last week.
Okay, but now he's back fit. What are you expecting from him?
Yeah, look, if he can deliver what he did in the Fiji game, look, he's big, he's strong, he's quick. We know that. Very good finisher, as we saw against Fiji, and I think hopefully he get the ball in his hands a little bit more than we did last week. If we get some ball where we're moving forward onto the ball, which is what all the backs want, then I'm sure he'll be able to show us what he can do.
And what reaction are you looking for this weekend, Wayne?
Well, an improvement across the board, really. The players are very critical of themselves. They're very disappointed after the game last week. Worked very, very hard so far through this week. And I think, they're desperate to go out there and show that we are a much better team than the display we put on last week. So across the board, everybody in the camp was very disappointed with last week. We're at home. We're in front of 75,000 people. And, we owe it to ourselves and our public to put on a better display, as simple as that.
Scotland haven't won here since 2002 when in Cardiff. They're obviously full of confidence. 5 changes. What do you make of their challenge?
Yeah, look, I don't think they've had back-to-back wins against England since the 80s, and certainly they hadn't won in Twickenham for a long time last year, or France. So, you've got to respect the Scotland side. They are a very, very good side. They've got a number of British and Irish Lions. They're they showed last week that they fight for every blade of grass, and that's certainly what we're going to be doing on the weekend. We have to match that and then bring some on top of that. So, look, it's going to be a very, very hard-fought game. We know that, and it's a Scotland team coming full of confidence, as you say.
Thank you, Wayne. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, James, over to you.
Hi, Wayne. I just wanted to touch on Dan Biggar and Jonathan Davies. Davies going to be making a 100th international appearance. What sort of achievement is that in modern day rugby?
Yeah, we were talking about it. The coaching group was talking about that this morning, actually, when we finalised the fact that Jonathan would be involved and be two players, playing 100 Test matches. I know it's fantastic to play 100 for Wales, and that's the big one. But British and Irish Lions are Test matches, and they're against probably three of some of the top sides in the world, against New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, and so when you play 100 Test matches, it says a couple of things: the resilience, the ability to get selected week in and week out over a long period of time. So their form's always good. Those players work hard. They make sacrifices. And in the case of Jonathan, he's had some major injuries along the way. So I think he would have had, well over 100 games for Wales by now if it hadn't been for injuries. So to persevere too through some of those darker times and to get back to the level that he's been operating at. I think we're slowly seeing the Jonathan of old in training now, and it takes a bit of time after an ACL like he had to get back that little bit of extra pace and that sort of thing. So look, I just take my hat off to Jonathan for the work he's done, and Dan has been, Dan Biggar, one of the best goal kickers in the world. He's our general and one of our big leaders. So looking forward to both of them getting out there and celebrating.
How far can these two players go? How long can they go on for, do you think?
Well, I think in the modern era, there's a lot of resources around the players compared with, a few decades ago. And, the sky's the limit, really, if they keep themselves fit, because it's strength and conditioning and get a little bit of luck with the body in terms of injury, then, players are going, average age is probably a little bit higher than it used to be. So, who knows? Look, I always say that if you're playing well enough, you're good enough, rather than what's on the birth certificate.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier about, Jack Morgan making his debut. How important is it for someone making their debut to have players like Dan Biggar, like Jonathan Davies, with the experience they've got in the squad?
Yeah, well, it certainly helps. You see it in training, and if you take a few guys out, it does make a difference in terms of not just what you see on the field during an 80-minute Test match, but it's the preparation and that experience that they bring, not only on the training field, but also in the classroom. So to have Jonathan and Biggsy is it's great for those young guys, and they learn a lot from them.
Thanks a lot. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll finish with a couple from Matt and then move to the inbound section.
Oh, Wayne, just on the back row, you've gone with, sometimes through necessity, two open sides a few times in the last sort of 12 months. Are you comfortable with the balance there this weekend?
Oh, look, look, we all know what we haven't got. It's a matter of what we have got and thinking ahead to the game on Saturday, the opposition we're playing, the conditions that we might be playing in, and factoring all that in. And we think that the enthusiasm that Jack will bring, the qualities that he brings, as well as Tane's speed and power, I think it's not a bad combination. We're going to lack in the line-out as a result. Let's be honest, they're not the tallest of men, so we've got to be a little bit creative in what we do there. So, it's a good challenge for the coaches, but I just think it's exciting seeing those two on the pitch at the same time. And with Ross coming back, he's pretty keen. He was very, very keen to start. And obviously, we're hoping that he'll go well at 8.
And just on Jack, there were some calls for you to call him up perhaps a little bit before you have. Now you've sort of got him in training and you've sort of looked under the bonnet, so to speak, with him. What have you found and what have you liked about him?
Yeah, look, we just felt that Tane was playing well, and we had a few other options 12 months ago. And when he's come through, he's learned a lot very quickly, and he's shown that now when given the opportunity. So they're slightly different types of players, and I think there's room for both types. We've had some, a guy like Josh Navidi in the past who's sort of a mixture of the two, really. So, look, we're really pleased that Jack's got the opportunity. You just got to see the boy in training. He's he deserves the opportunity. He's thrown himself about, and I think, you will see a big performance. He certainly won't be lacking in effort.
And just finally, obviously he's been named in the side, so I assume Lewis Rees-Zammit is good to go and shaken off that injury issue, that ankle, I think it was.
Yeah, he just rolled it in the warm up. It wasn't sufficient enough to keep him out of the game. But yeah, look, he's come through the week really, really well. Medical team have done a great job, and he hasn't missed the training sessions, so he's fine.